Gather, veterans. It's time to join the fight. The long war begins.
This is The Long War. I'm Robbie B, and joining me once again are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher, Mike Haspel, and Jason Craze. What's up, dude?
Yo, dog. Great to be here.
Oh, my next? Man, I'm sorry. Oh, hey, everybody.
What's happening, gang?
So we're having a discussion about which new sci-fi spacey space curves show is better. Obviously, I think Star Trek Discovery, but Hassel's a little salty because it's behind a paywall. But that's all right.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's a better or worse thing. I think the Orville is doing its own thing. It's kind of doing a mash kind of, mashup to kind of pun, where it's, throwing in drama with comedy. And
Isn't that a dramedy?
Yeah, on the last episode, they cut down on kind of the, the Family Guy style, fart humor, and just went with something more subtle. And it was a pretty good episode. I mean, it would have fit in with like Black Mirror or old Star Trek very well. So I think they're doing a really good job. I would like to see it continue. And I can't really comment on Discovery because other than the first episode, I haven't really seen it.
The only space show is The Expanse.
Which is incredible.
It's an incredible show. I may or may not be getting my hair cut on Monday in the Belter style.
Nice.
I was going to suggest that I know it's No Shave November, but I think we all know how that would go for me. So I was thinking maybe I just don't cut my hair. What do you think? Grow out a sweet mullet, maybe.
I think you don't cut anything. Just let it all happen.
Just let it all go.
I want to see how epic your teenager peach fuzz mustache with blonde hair gets in 30 days.
I feel like I'll look like
Jeff Spicoli.
A strung out Macaulay Culkin.
Dude, my pops has got the ultimate set of tools.
Yeah, I would lean towards Spicoli as well. And that's November is not just that. It is also NaNoWriMo, which if you've ever wanted to be a writer, and I hear a lot of folks saying, hey, I want to write a book and everything, you got to do NaNoWriMo. And what it is you get 30 days. So if you're already hearing this, you're already behind. You get 30 days starting 1 November to write a 50,000 word novel. You have to hit a mark of it's about 1,667 words a day. Obviously you can do more some days, less the other, but the target is 50,000 words. They have a website. It's nanowrimo.org or .com. If you just put it in like Google, it'll come up. I know that's very helpful. It's nanowrimo.org. I just checked it. So, but that'll keep track. They have a whole support structure. They have writing prompts. They have all kinds of stuff. You can just write something nuts. And it's a heck of a lot of fun and will give you a lot of appreciation on what it's like to try to write a book.
Didn't you win that or something?
Well, it's a contest against yourself. So I've done it. I did it for like 6 years, and I think I completed it 4. The other 2 times I had like work intervened and I couldn't get it done.
Heard it first. Mike Haspel, the official winner, 4 times.
But it's a contest against yourself. So if you reach the finish line, you reach, 50,000 words, you can pat yourself on the back and they give you, access to their little store, and you can buy T-shirts and stuff that say you completed it. It's a good challenge. It's just really.
It's like the tough mutter of writing.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so it's like the tough mutter.
So I have a question. Do the words a and the
yes, all those words
count. Do all those count?
Yes.
Because if and count, then I literally don't have to come up with much.
Yeah.
Wait, can you?
If literally counts, I don't have to come up.
Literally, the this is
the thing with the guy with the thing. You can waste the whole page doing like a whole Goodfellas monologue where no one says anything.
Exactly. The outcome is like, what? The most read 3 pages of your book right there.
Yeah. Jimmy 2 times. The guy with the thing with the guy.
He says everything 2 times. 2 times. Gonna go to the store.
But they do have strategies on there on how to pad things out. They give you writing prompts and everything. So it's a lot of fun. And you can write whatever you want. So you can write sci-fi, you can write mashup, it doesn't have to be publishable. You can just do whatever you want. It's just 50,000 words in 30 days.
I feel like War Magic's comment is worth mentioning.
Yeah. Erotic long war fan fiction only. How did you know?
Is that called slash when we're all different people?
It is called slash fic. Yes.
Oh
Slash.
yeah. Give me some. I'll read some submissions. Oh, it's brutal. And this is also the first show since Halloween, right? So happy belated Halloween to everybody, and happy birthday to David.
Nice.
Isn't that your brother?
If you guys didn't know, my brother David is his birthday's on Halloween.
I feel like that's a ripoff, man.
Before he has his birthday.
Halloween was also Uncle Touchy's birthday. So everybody, happy birthday.
Oh, no way. Happy birthday, dude.
Is that why he goes so hard on Halloween?
You got it.
It's awesome. He doesn't have kids yet, so he doesn't realize.
He doesn't realize how bad that is.
It's the coolest birthday to have until you have kids, because then now nobody cares about your birthday anymore.
No, it's. I'll be honest. Like, it's
how come
pretty
I
brutal.
didn't get a cake? Eat your candy. Done.
Well, look at it this way. Everybody loves Christmas, right? But imagine if your birthday is like.
Yeah, but those are present giving times. Halloween just means your birthday party is awesome. Like Halloween themed every year. It's a blowout because you get presents when you normally wouldn't. It's a blast, bro. It's not like Christmas where they just say, this is for Christmas and your birthday. It's way more fun. But then David had kids 10 years ago, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to go out for my birthday. And his wife's like, no, you're taking the kids trick-or-treating. So 10 years in a row, he's like, well, I basically haven't had a birthday. So Bonet was like, make sure you call him tomorrow. And I was like, he doesn't have a birthday anymore. So it's kind of a waste of time.
But happy birthday.
It's good times. But yeah, we had a lot of fun yesterday. The Long War Network was live on Halloween. Everyone embraced Halloween except Rob.
No, I was Scotch Cat.
No, that's not a thing.
That is a thing.
You can't wear a cat shirt that you always wear and have scotch and say that's a costume. Even Jason, he wore a mask. You know how difficult that is to do while you're painting?
Dude, I was Viking Cock Bunny Man.
So if you can be Viking Cock Bunny Man, why cannot be Scotch Cat?
Because he wore a mask.
Because I literally had the outfit, dude. It wasn't just a cheap ass like dollar store T-shirt with space cats and whiskey. Come on, man.
He didn't even buy that shirt. Someone sent it to him in the mail.
In my shoes.
I feel like the Space Cats and whiskey thing. Oh man, that's winning at life. That's just perfect.
But that's what he wears on Tuesdays. Like
that's not true.
Like,
I never wear cat shirts and drink scotch.
Did you go specifically out to buy that scotch for Halloween, or did you already have it?
I don't have to answer that.
All right. All right. Because if you actually went to the store on Halloween and got it for Halloween, I would have been like, all right, fine, I accept this. But I know you already had it. Repurposed scotch doesn't count.
Dude, all scotch counts. Let's be honest.
Not for winning this argument. Anyway,
all right, next.
Do content. I'm done with you.
Do content. No. Chat says I should go as gluten-free man next year. That's a great idea.
That's another thing that happens for free every Tuesday. Inadmissible.
Yeah, but I could wear a costume.
Made of bread? I accept that.
Ooh.
That's the word, not real bread. What am I, a crazy person?
That's commitment, son.
And not gluten-free bread either. It's like half the size of normal bread, and it's like $8 a loaf.
Yeah, basically bread's just not a part of your life anymore.
No, I mean, I eat it from time to time. I work it in.
Yeah, and then you're like, Kenny, I'm not going to make it. Feel my knees. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Grab his knee. It's like swollen and burning hot. And I'm like, all right, yeah, you're sick. You need to go home.
I feel like somebody in chat just wrote about you touching each other's knees.
Yeah,
I'll have to scroll back up and see this, but I feel like this
might
is a
have
thing.
happened. There might be some slash fic in chat right now.
Fine, I have ideas for next year, but I may revive Scotch Cat.
That's all I wanted. Yeah, all I wanted to hear is that you're going to try next time.
No, because see, next year Kenny and I get to be Scotch Cat, so you got to go figure something else out.
Doing 3 hours under studio lights and grease paint and fucking horns that I super glued to my head was a struggle and a commitment. Straight super glue those. I don't use that spirit gum shit. That shit just always sweats off me. I sweat too much.
You're a hairy man.
Even my forehead. I talk about fan cakes? Do it.
We can talk about fan cakes. I like fan cakes. Fan cakes has a officially licensed line of 40K shoes. So you can get, you know, you want Blood Angel shoes, you want a Aquila shoe, you want freaking Necromunda logo shoes. They got it. But the thing that makes them pretty neat is that you buy basically a sole and you can get, it has a zipper around it. It's a steel. So, you know, it's high quality and stuff. And you could just change out the tops. You want low tops, kind of loafer type deal. Zzz, you know, boom, good to go. You want some high tops, keep it real, keep it sporty or whatever. You're good to go there. Switch them out. I'm putting through the paces.
I just want to put a disclaimer. These are not sporty shoes. Don't play basketball in these.
Yeah, I mean, they might make you jump higher. They'll definitely make you.
They will not. That's not what they're for. They're for looking awesome. They're not for playing sports.
They are for sporting. They look really good and they're comfortable too. They're nice. I like them.
They're waterproof. Those zippers, 100% waterproof.
Nice.
No, they're not.
I wasn't gonna jump in a puddle with those things. They look good, man.
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I put it in my video. I was like, and obviously they're waterproof. You know, like
jumped in a puddle. Well, they're not. Shit.
So cold.
So fan kicks, definitely sick. We got a website.
Fankicks.com. There's actually a code. Spikey B. You put that in, you get 20% off purchase over $99, which basically gets you an extra set of uppers for freezies, depending on which style you choose.
So wait, you buy shoes and you get uppers?
Yeah, or downers. I mean, you got to keep the party going. You always mix the uppers with the downers so you can keep going.
I feel like anything where Spikey B, the Scotch cat, is trying to sell us uppers and tennis shoes is probably going to lead to a bad night.
All right, Rob, talk about something else.
You guys are supposed to. You guys got the shoes too. You like them?
I can't even put them on. I can't even give you honest feedback. I like the way they look.
Yeah, I love them. I really like them. In fact, I will probably wear them down to the game store on Friday.
I have a sweet Chaos Star on my shoes that I wish I fit in, but people don't make extra fat for shoes these days.
Yeah, they don't make Ogren size, so Kenny can't wear it.
I didn't realize you were so huge.
I'm not. I'm pretty average sized.
I feel like
best.
A size 14 shoe.
Not true.
I feel like that's really big.
Yeah, it turns out average size is like 5'8", 180 pounds.
Like when I get my blood pressure, they're always like have to pull out an extender or do an OG with the stethoscope and their watch.
Damn.
Oh, because the strap won't go around your bicep.
Yeah. they try to get around my bicep, and then they try and they realize it's not getting accurate. And then finally, sometimes they just call. So they call because I guess they don't train that anymore. I guess like look at your watch and look at the second hands ticking, and so they call someone else over to do it.
It's like trying to navigate the seas without GPS. They're like, yeah, I don't remember how to do this.
Like, well, I like to say extra fat.
All right, whatever. That's how you identify, Kenny.
I sit in obesity cradle for a living.
Well, I tried. I didn't realize you had a ginormous foot.
It's they're weird looking too. Like
moving on. Drive through.
The slash figure in the thread is ridiculous.
We've gone too far.
Just so you guys know, the Long War erotic fanfic is the story is being told through chat live. It's amazing. The Beats Lab will never be the same.
No, it won't.
My favorite quote so far. All right.
Literally.
What do we have coming out this week, Rob?
This week's actually pretty jam-packed. There's 14 new items, not counting limited edition web exclusives coming out, going on pre-order on Saturday. Now, there isn't any dice for Tyranids, unfortunately, but there is a collector's edition, $80 US. You got the typical Tyranid Codex, which is 40 US. Got the data cards for 15. Got the start collecting box for 85, which looks to be pretty good deal. And then they've got all sorts of manner of different things coming out. So they got some playing cards coming out for $12.50. These things called battle journals for $25 for each one, which is just like,
what's a battle journal?
So from what it looked like, and it was hard to see from the pictures, G-Dub hasn't officially put it out yet, but it looked like, remember those old, what do they call it? Stylus, your writing books in like high school. They were like, for creative writing and stuff, you had to have like a specific book, and it kind of had like a hard binding to it, and had like special printed pages and such. That's kind of what it looked like from the picture.
And is this just for Nids, or it's for everybody?
No, it's for everybody. There's a 40K one and Age of Sigmar one. Oh. They call it the Battle Journal.
Yeah, that chip in my head's going off. I'm gonna need like 8 of those.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Fucking 8.
Yeah, comp book. That's it. Yep, comp book. It's very similar to that.
But it has an Aquila on it, so it's just superior in every way.
Obviously. Did you also see too? They Forge World put out. Somebody got a hold of the catalog or the update to the 2017 catalog, and it had the price for the new ginormous tank. And I think it was like, I don't even know. Like, I want to just say it was 2 something in pounds, 250. I don't remember the exact price. But they also, you know, the little Black Horse Heresy boxes for the character series, the ones for 40K are blue now, and they have the Aquila on them. So they look very striking as well. The stuff
about that tank, the new one with all the guns on it. Mm-hmm. God, it's so bad looking.
The upsized repulsor.
God,
it's, and people, and I'm really not trying to take anything away from the tank, because it is interesting looking, but I'm just going to throw it out there. It is not as big as I feel like people think it is. They're like, oh, look at it. It's as big as a white dwarf.
I think that my main thing with GW is, regardless of composition, they make quality models, right? That's typically what I'm looking at. So like, you can look at a model and be like, like Mortarion, we weren't super pleased with this composition, but at the end of the day, that's a fucking flawlessly high quality model, right? And the repulsor tank is high quality, man. It is clean, perfect. And Forge World obviously is a different process. And that tank, just like even their studio paint job, I'm just looking at this tank, I'm like, the edges look rough. It's almost like you can see tool marks on it. Like, it's just not a high. I mean, that's the best one that they can show us, that they can paint and show off the quality of it. I'm just like, damn, man. Couldn't say nothing nice about it. I was just not pleased with it, man. Like, and I'm like a fanboy of quality models, but I'm not really happy with a lot of the Forge World stuff right now.
Trying to
I didn't like that repulsor thing. I think it's the laziest design they've come up with in a long time.
Yeah, the repulsor, like, that's what I'm saying, composition wise, like the plastic repulsor, I'm like, meh. But but at least it's got impeccable, high quality plastic, just amazing. Like, it's the smoothest, cleanest shit ever. And so at least I can appreciate that. I could not appreciate any of those things about the Forge World version of it. The big ass, it was just like, damn. I was like, damn, you guys struggled to put this together and paint it in a way that made it look smooth and clean. Like, I ain't buying this. That's why there's a China market, bro. Like, on top of the prices, obviously, but you're not even getting that tight of a quality in a Forge World these days, especially with all these other third-party companies coming out with their own resin model making techniques that are just way better than Forge World.
It's a shame.
That's what it's called, the Asteros. It does. You can definitely draw some design similarities between, the 3 major tanks out there, like the Sikaran, the Repulsor, and the. Oh, here it is. Okay. So the measurements on it is like 9x10, I believe, but that's only slightly bigger than the Repulsor tank, which is 7x4, and the Rhino, which is 3x5. So while it looks great, don't get me wrong, it's just not.
But I am getting you wrong. I'm arguing the entire purpose of that statement. I don't think it looks great. There's nothing great about that model. Like, the composition is flawed and the quality of the resin is flawed, and on visual inspection.
No, I haven't gone that deep looking at it yet, but now that you say that, I will go back and look at the GW previews. The Forge World, it will also release the new Age of Darkness rule set for Horus Heresy this Friday. It goes on pre-order. No idea on price, etc., but it will be out. So hopefully we'll get something to hold us over. Give us that Band-Aid. Coming out soon. Back to supplies. So the Citadel water pot is making its return for $8 US. I think when it was
wait, hold on a second. Water pot?
Yeah, the one that came out before that you can snap your brushes into the side and they can.
Oh, okay. The one you have a bunch of those.
Yeah, the one I definitely didn't buy like two of.
Yeah.
Because like a Dixie cup won't cut it, you know.
No, but does it have a little Aquila on it or something?
No, what I liked about it is it fit exactly into the little paint tray that they sold. It was like
they sold an MDF paint tray back in the day.
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah. So and I take that paint tray to the FLGS, so it was nice to just have that in there and not worry about it spilling or whatever.
The paint tray did have a big Aquila on it.
Yes,
it was neat.
That did, yes.
They so I think when they came out before they were like $6. Now they're $8. I don't know, whatever. It has a different colored top. I want to say it's blue.
Oh also shit, Mike! You mean they're not the same? So you need.
So now I need blue ones.
Yeah, it's a different color. You're gonna have to buy more.
Mine have gray bottoms. I need the blue tops.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The tape measure is making its return. The ubiquitous orange.
Oh shit!
Grip is now a green rubber grip.
Oh no. Well, Haspel might be okay because he likes the ones that are like shaped like skulls and shit.
Well, I found the
Age of Sigmar one's your favorite one, right?
Yeah, the Age of Sigmar like expensive tape measure that's really heavy and all metal. That is the best tape measure they make, and I'll swear by that one. It's awesome. So I'm safe with the tape measures.
I believe that thing was literally metal.
Yeah,
he let us use it in Adepticon, and he was like, "I swear to God, if you lose this tape measure, I will beat you to death." He was like, "I'm like, ha ha ha," and he's like, "No, I'm not fucking with you. You're dying."
I wasn't playing.
He's like, "This is not a joke.
This is deadly serious." Love that tape measure.
Now this might interest you, Haspel. Citadel painting mat, $25.
Yeah,
like a tray, but it's a mat.
I have one.
I mean, it always comes back to the logo and color. What are we looking at here? We're looking at Space Wolf logo. I mean,
I think I got the Aquila.
I like how we've gone to Aquila,
whatever. I can barely talk and or read.
Pretty impressive feat for somebody whose job is literally to talk and read for a living.
Sometimes destiny chooses you. All right. Rise of Pattern STC runes. Those were the little plastic sprue of runes. I think there was 2 of them that came in the Moonbase kit a few weeks ago, which, considering that kit's $80 and all it comes with is some cardboard tiles and these runes. And these runes are $30 plastic box. So I don't know which one's the better value there, but it is what it is at that point. The Black Library Calendar 2018 for $15. I have Medusa paperback and Phoenix Lords Janzar paperback as well from Black Library. And then the Citadel Ruined Fortress Walls for the Dreadhold. That's that big Chaos Star looking fortress for Age of Sigmar. I suppose you could use it for $40K. $35 for the Ruined Fortress Walls. And I'm sure we've seen a bunch of holiday bundles, but I'm not really going to talk about those until they get closer and we know that they're coming out the next week. But you can check all those out over on spikybits.com, of course. Got them all priced out. So that's the G-Dub stuff. Now, there is some other releases coming out from some different manufacturers that we like to talk about from time to time. Creature Caster has the Lord of Slaughter miniature coming out. It is on pre-order right now. I think it went up on Monday. First 100 pre-orders will go out November 20th. It's $78 Canadian, $60 American monies. And GameMat.eu has some really interesting releases this month. They all should be in stock November 1st, which is technically right now. So I imagine they'll be in here shortly. There is the medieval castle set, which you might have seen a really cool Facebook video going around about, where it kind of looks like the old Citadel plastic castle, but it's pre-painted resin. It comes shipped very well protected. It's lightweight. It's just a cool little product. You get a bunch of walls, towers, ruined towers, a gate, $129 for that. And they also have a medieval town set, which comes with 3 little cottage type houses, a ruined house, statues, a well, some crates, some sacks, some barrels, boxes, all sorts of things. And then they also have a mat for it, which is, I think their mats, just their normal G mats, are $62. And they have 2 very cool double-sided mats that are $102. One set features sci-fi fantasy, one of our favorite mats, Fallout, and then on the back is the Rebel base, Imperial base.
Yeah, Fallout is definitely my favorite one they have.
I love Fallout. Fallout and Quarantine probably tied for my 2 favorites. And
Quarantine is awesome too. I forgot about Quarantine.
Yeah, Quarantine's good. It should be coming out with more. And then there's fantasy ones. I think it's Meadows of War, and I think what is that, Ruined? I forget the name of the other one, but it's the cobblestone paths with the little patches of grass. So cool releases from them as well. All of that should be available right now over on GameMat.eu, and of course Lord of Slaughters on creaturecaster.com. Are you gonna paint one of those, Kenny?
Yeah, actually, I think that's one of the ones I'm supposed to exclusively paint.
The Lord of Slaughter.
Yeah. Is he the new Corn with some armor? He has some armor pieces on him too.
He does.
Yeah.
He says it's got some different variants for the wings too. Like you can either do it with or without wings, maybe.
Yep. He has 2 axes that he's holding separately, or he has like bone scythes that are like his bottom 2 fingers have morphed with the bottom of his like arm to form like blades.
Oh, so, I'm gonna build him the coolest way I can fathom for sure.
Yeah, there's some neat ways to do that.
I was specifically asking for one to come out with some armor panels because I like painting armor panels a lot. So I think I'd already called dibs on this when I saw the preview.
Dibsies.
And so,
I think Elrix has the Death Marsh bases too. I think you paint some of those up for.
Oh yeah, I painted up a Death Marsh base, and they've got the new Corrupted Outpost.
Yeah, Corrupted Outpost as well. Two different base sizes.
My Magnus is standing on Corrupted Outpost. Pretty sweet base. Also, we got bomb racks.
Oh yeah,
yes, we do.
It's a new product.
And brushes are back in stock.
Oh my God! Give me some
in stock always. Jen is making like piles and piles of soap all day, every day. Sounds like a prison job, doesn't it? When I say it like that.
Yeah, when you make soap.
Orange is the new black.
Make that soap.
Make that soap. So yeah, bomb racks are in. The modular hobby rack system we got. All of those are in stock, packaged up, ready to go. We're damn near sold half of them already. So it's good stuff.
You better send me some.
You got to go pick up your mail, Kenny.
Is this what I say? Bitch, please. They're sitting on his floor.
Probably.
He doesn't own any wood glue.
People were putting work in progress gallery pictures up with their models on, which you can tell is the dropper bottle bottom.
Yeah,
like
exactly. Yep. They were using them as stage. And then there's other people that had like their models like blue tacked to the top of their soap pen. So awesome. It's like Gentastic's drunken brush soap, and there's a model blue tacked to the top of it. So it's not only the best soap in the biz for cleaning your brushes, but it's also a model holder while you paint.
Oh, absolutely, man. I've always
dual purpose.
Yeah, I can't say how many pictures on like Instagram we're taking on the old Masters brush soap, the old hotness, and now we have the new hotness. It's going to be awesome. No, wait till you see when you see my whip when I'm done with my bomb rack modular hobby system. It's going to make all the other ones look stupid.
Oh hell yeah!
Like my shit's going to be tight. I'm gonna whip the old airbrush out. You know it.
I feel like the biggest problem for the racks for Kenny is that he's never going to know what to do when he can find all his paint.
Oh,
my gosh.
It's going to be bad.
Too much efficiency.
Too much efficiency. Brain explode.
Part of my process is the eclectic smattering of all my paints everywhere. And then when they're all in one location, all alphabetized or whatnot, I don't even know. I mean, like, Is that still like Dewey Decimals? That's still a thing that they do to organize things?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's a library thing.
You could use a computer, but why would you do that when you have the Dewey Decimal System?
Nobody under the age of 40 knows how to use it, but it does still exist.
I'm gonna get something going. I'm gonna create my own system, and of course, I'm gonna have the flame most epic bomb rack ever.
Dude,
Shiny,
so psyched.
Sweet ass fades, transitions. There's gonna be some contrast. Those are art words.
Yeah.
You spill water and or knock it off on accident. What are we talking?
Dude, my shit's gonna be gloss coated. It's gonna be like a billion coats of varnish, possibly an epoxy enamel finish. Like I'm gonna treat this out like I used to make my fighting sticks, like when I used to crack out and make my own Street Fighter fighting sticks.
Oh, I remember those. Those boxes are dope.
Oh, yeah. The box for the joysticks. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can do your own art in the top. Like I always like black acrylic stuff, and I would do my own airbrush art on the sides. But I've also made fight sticks with clear buttons and inserted my own graphics, and then even cut them out and put them in the buttons so the graphic would continue across the buttons. Like I've gone all out, bro. Like Street Fighter, you can hobby on Street Fighter. Like that's what I love about it.
Did I forget to mention the painting handle? I did.
Yeah, you did.
Wah. So $8 painting handle,
which I'm gonna get.
A lot of people are saying. Everybody I talk to is like, "Yo, I'm gonna get like 3 of those."
Yeah.
What is it? What's a painting handle?
It's like a little.
It's a plastic ripoff of the jeweler's work holder that everybody's been using for like decades.
A decade, but it doesn't. The jeweler's thing doesn't say Games Workshop or Citadel on it.
I don't understand you people.
I have a chip in my head. I
don't understand you people.
You said you people, Haspel. How do you feel about that?
I can't help it. I need help.
The chip in the head. We need an intervention.
Haspel, you going to get the Atreus, the Astros? How do you say that tank?
No, I'm not going to get that because I will spend all my money this weekend is going to buy everything that is coming out for Shadespire.
Haspel, look at the chat. Tell me how do you say this word? I need a wordsmith. Astreus super heavy tank.
Wasn't that the kid from the Never-Ending Story?
No,
that's Atreyu.
I was like, yeah, that checks out. Sure.
but yeah, so Shadespire, which Rob neglected to tell people about, we get the next 2 war bands are coming out. The Death Rattle Sepulchral Guard, who remind me of the skeletons that spawn up from the Hydra's teeth and Jason and the Argonauts, the great Ray Harryhausen movie. And it's kind of just like buried in a collective subconscious. That's why I think they're going to be one of the most popular factions. You get 7 miniatures for a whopping $30. That in GW money, that is free. That is literally free.
It's better than free. That's buy one, get one free.
It's a BOGO.
The Oryx come out, you've got 4 of those minis for 30. Then each faction comes out with dice. They got card sleeves for all the factions. And I got to say, I picked up the card sleeves for the Stormcast and for the Chaos guys. And they're really high quality card sleeves. And not only that, they gave you exactly what you needed for your deck. So it's perfect. It's like 12, objective cards, the clear sleeves for your heroes, because those are double-sided, and then the other ones for all your ploys and upgrades. It's actually really, really well done. And in my opinion, like GW beat the actual card sleeve makers making these. So I wish I could tell you how much they cost, but the chip in my head interfered and I just bought them. So I have no idea how much they cost.
Didn't look at the receipt,
nothing. I was just like, oh, these are sweet. Gimme. So
you should just start saying, if they're like, hey, do you want your receipt? And be like, no, I never want to remember this purchase again.
Well, at the local game store, we actually have a function that they can go back and find out how much money you've spent there. And
over time.
And I never ever want to see that number.
And it used to be directly tied to their reward system, right? The Gamer's Haven.
Yeah.
Like you spent a certain amount of money in your lifetime there, and you got some kind of lifetime discount. I think way back in the day, like 10 years ago.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but it was like I never want to know that number because it's like you could have funded the Apollo program.
Nice.
That's brutal.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't have a retirement plan.
It was like nervous laugh.
You do have a retirement plan. You're going to play Shadespire in the old folks' home.
Yep.
With me.
For money.
For money.
For money and applesauce.
Gotta get the pinks.
And let's talk about the Long War doubles before we do our commercial break and come back and talk about Nids. So, as you guys know, every year we do a Long War doubles tournament in Chicago at Adepticon. But this year is going to mark, going into 2018, next year, marks the first of many, hopefully, where we're doing 2 a year. In January 20th is the new date, which is, yes, we know, only a week before LVO. We plan on attracting different crowds, so we're unconcerned about that type of attendance. But it's going to be the classic Long War doubles, bringing hobby back event here in Southern California with our new SoCal partners, SoCal Games and Comics in Temecula. We are going to be launching registration details this week. Team registration will be going up. It'll be something like $100 a team, which is a good deal because most conventions are doing $75 a person. So ours is like $50 a person. You and your teammate figure it out. It'll be a 5-day event. Fat prize support. Sick trophies.
Wait, did you say a 5-day event?
Did I say 5 days?
Yeah, that's what I thought you just said that.
What I meant was 10 days. 10-day event. No, obviously not.
Yeah, because I heard that and I was like,
pack food, pack water. We're going out into the middle of nowhere.
I reserve the right to backpedal at any point. It is a 5-round event, so we've typically only done 3 rounds. So we're in the process of drafting our format to 5 rounds. You got to change points around everything. Nothing. You can't just scale it to 5 rounds. The points have to change a little bit. I'm sure Haspels knows all that stuff. And we're going to be putting out a player pack, hopefully in Google Doc form, which is the new heat that everyone does now instead of PDF. Everyone will have that information available. We'll be Spikey Bits updates. We have a new Facebook group, the Long War Doubles. So definitely check that out. Stay there, tune in, updates daily, weekly, whatever. But it will be a bringing hobby back format, which is what the community has been asking for. There will be hobby scores valued equally to battle score, which has been our mission statement since day one, bringing hobby scores back to Warhammer 40K. And we have the legendary Mike Haspel here, who has been writing that format for us, refining it over the last 4 years. And it's going to be in its most polished state this January.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. Veterans, I've got news for you. Get your best deals online at dicehead.com. Long War Vets, call or email for your best vet deals. That's dicehead.com.
Dear veterans, quickly, make your way to thelongwar.net and find out how to reap your hard-earned spoils of this long war. For our allies at secretweaponsminiatures.com have rewarded us all with an extra 10% discount on all Secret Weapon Miniatures merchandise. So stock up, dear veterans, and enjoy.
elricshobbies.com is your exclusive portal to upgrading your hobby. When you sign up at thelongwar.net, you gain an instant promotional discount good for 10% off at Elric's Hobbies. elricshobbies.com. And we're back. Tyranids. Robert, who is an expert right now on Tyranids?
So for the rest of the episode, my name is Juice. That is all.
Have we even talked about Juice? I thought Juice was here.
Mm-hmm. I'm Juice.
Oh, you're Juice. Got it. Juice. Hit me with it. Break it down.
All right, I'm not Juice. Fine. So we've got lots of rules. It looks like the Hive Tyrant is a true G. We talked about this some in the webcast, but let me run it down real quick. This is just the preview G-Dub put out, and then I'll throw a little bit on top of this. So his stat line went up by 1 toughness. He's up to 7, 12 wounds, so you're not going to be able to hide him. Down to 4 attacks, 3 up, 4 up, invulnerable.
I think he was a 10 wound model before.
Yep.
So he sucked. That's the worst wounds to have because you can't hide and you have the least amount of wounds that makes it so you can't hide.
But they definitely took that to the next level.
Yeah. Well, so they made him like a demon engine, 12 like these are what Molophenes are, like 12 wounds, 5 up invulnerable. Now he has a 4 up invulnerable, 3 up save, toughness 7. I mean, he got an upgrade for Shao.
So we'll talk about this too when we're breaking down the Hive fleets, but there is a bio artifact, which looks like they're not relics, they're bio artifacts for this release. Gorgon Hive fleet only. From the end of the first phase in which this model suffers any wounds, add 1 to its toughness for the remainder of the battle. So
can you read that back just one more time?
From the end of the first phase in which this model suffers any wounds, add 1 to its toughness for the remainder of the battle.
Is that just 1 toughness bump? Haspel?
I don't know. It sounds like it is a 1 toughness bump, but earlier weren't we saying that, or was that a different one that we were talking about?
Per phase.
Did it say per phase?
No, per phase. That's
From the end of the first phase. So if you take 1 from shooting, plus 1 toughness. If you take 1 from the
so read it again. Does it says per phase, or I thought it said it the first phase?
From the end of the first phase in which this model suffers any wounds.
So where's this per phase thing?
Oh, end of the first phase. No, I guess it isn't per
I feel like it's saying the first phase in which it suffers its its unfailed wound, it gets plus 1 toughness.
Yeah, so that sounds like a once a game thing.
So it's like it's not you don't get bigger as you go on through the game. Yeah. Like initially when you're ready,
you'll get up to the 8.
You'll get to 8.
You'll get to 8, yeah.
So I thought, yeah, which is really good. 8 means everything that's strength 4 and below wounds you on 6s now. So I thought he got progressively better, but that's why we do the webcast. But still, that's cool. It makes him tough, but he also has another thing that stacks with this pretty well.
Yeah, so now this isn't keyed to a particular Hive fleet. This is just anybody. From the end of the first phase in which the warlord suffers any wounds, for the remainder of the battle when inflicting damage upon the warlord, reduce the damage of the attack by 1 to a minimum of 1.
That's an interesting wording. Is that per attack? So I mean, it's by weapon attack.
It happens. It triggers whenever you're taking damage.
Yeah, so like if somebody shot you with 15 bolter shots, did 4 wounds, you failed 2 of them, you only take 1 wound.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. And that helps you take wounds and be toughness 8 and be even stronger throughout the game. And you're tough. And Hive Tyrants deep strike, right? That's what we're talking about. They have the
Hive Tyrants can deep strike with wings.
So I think that's cool. I think that's a real tough little dude that comes in hot and 12 wounds. I mean, the 4 up invulnerable is a big improvement too.
Yeah, 3 up, 4 up, definitely hot.
I like that. I like it. I don't think it's not game changing, but we haven't talked about stratagems yet. So like that's where all the baddest shit is and all the codex is these stratagems. So that was all GW preview stuff, right?
Yeah, that was straight GW.
So it's interesting to think it's interesting to comment on what GW thinks is like the most enticing stuff to tease us with.
Yeah, I mean, you could read. There's some more relics and stuff in there too. You can check it all out. They've basically been and then they upped the basic stuff. Like they upped synapses, longer range, instinctive behavior changed a lot. Your neg 1 to shoot. If you're outside of synapse, your neg 1 to shoot. You're minus 2 inches to charge. So they're just kind of a little bit unpredictabler, I guess.
Just your math. Like you have to bank on bigger stats to make things happen, So
yeah, Shadows in the Warp. You subtract 1 from any psychic tests with an 18 now,
which is awesome.
There's some stratagems that do a little bit more there. All right, well, let's talk about the Hive fleets in general and kind of get the flavor of that. So Behemoth, the attribute is reroll failed charges. So and their attributes are unit wide. It's not just like, hey, just infantry and just.
It's not like the Space Marine people, like all like the Space Marine factions, like Chaos and Imperium. They're all like, these are infantry and bikes and dreadnoughts, and these guys are like the Eldar, where it's everything.
Right. Their warlord trait is a wound roll of 6 during the fight phase, deals 1 additional damage. And their stratagem, keyed to them, for 1 command point, whenever a behemoth unit completes a charge, roll a dice for each model in the unit that ended its charge within 1 inch of an enemy model. On a 6-up, the enemy unit suffers 1 mortal wound. If the charging unit was a monster, it instead inflicts a mortal wound on a 2-up. So if you're a single unit monster, single model unit monster, it's 2-up. But for everybody else, because you can have 30 dudes.
But so the monster is going to do a mortal wound, like just pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah.
Whereas like a unit of like 20 dudes charging in is going to, has the potential to get lucky and roll a shitload of 6s.
But we don't know stuff like, hey, maybe they added a description of like crushing claws or something that when you charge in, you do D3 additional damage or something. There could be more stuff that people haven't dug into the codex yet quite.
No, but that's a solid bone. I mean, dude, you pick up 2 mortal wounds for free on something. It's like a hand grenade, bro. Like like just having like little mini explosions of damage happening throughout the course of the battle. It really adds up.
Yep. Yeah, and then there's some mortal wound auras on a 4-up roll for each model things that we may not get to, but just be aware that's there. Very similar to how Mortarion works. Gorgon, their high fleet attribute is to reroll 1s to hit in the fight phase, which we all know seems to be mathematically better than the +1 to hit.
Depends on what you hit on.
True.
If you hit on 3s, rerolling 1s is really strong. Right.
I'm just going to assume they're good at combat.
It's really close to hitting on 2s. Like, because you only fail 1 and 6 on 2s, but you fail 2 out of 6 on 3s, and only 50% of those fails are 1s, and those only convert on 2/3 math. So still hitting on 2s is good.
Yeah, I feel you were coming at.
But it's really good stacks, though. Rerolling 1s is pretty standard. Like, if you're talking about a close combat thing, I will say I do like rerolling charges more than I like rerolling 1s in close combat. You know what I'm saying? Because that's key to the fight phase. So that's not an all-time thing. So, but what else do they have besides rerolling 1s in the fight phase? What's their
their warlord trait is at the end of the fight phase, roll dice for each unit within 1 inch to 3 inch of the warlord. On a 4-up, that unit suffers a mortal wound.
Yeah, I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so there's there's like doubles and stuff.
What do they have for stratagems?
So stratagem is during the fight phase, choose a Gorgon unit equipped with toxin sacks. The biomorph does 1 additional damage. And to wound rolls of 5. Does 1 additional damage on wound rolls of 5 instead of just 6. So it's basically toxin sacks, but 1 better.
So toxin sacks on a roll of 6 do a mortal wound. This stratagem says on a
5 for 1 command point.
5 or 6. So that's really strong.
It's almost like +1 to wound, but it's not worded that way.
Oh, it's awesome. There's all sorts of stacks like that, like Death to the False Emperor.
Yeah.
Popular stack in the Chaos line is on 6s. You generate another attack, right? But you can do Veteran of the Long War +1 to your hit roll, so on 5s and 6s. Right? So it's pretty cool. I like stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. High Fleet Hydra. The attribute is reroll all failed to hit rolls during the fight phase for units who outnumber their opponents.
That's a good one. So reroll everything, reroll all your faileds as long as you have bigger squad sizes. That tells you kind of the theme of the army.
Yep. Warlord trait. The beginning of your turn, roll a dice for each wound your warlord has suffered previously. On a 6-up, it regains that wound.
Is that it? That's just the basic one that everyone takes in the main rulebook.
At the beginning of your turn, roll a dice for each wound your warlord.
Oh, at the beginning of your turn. So this doesn't happen every time you take in a wound?
No, this is like it's like what was that thing that you could do with chaos? You could get but you can only do one. This looks like you can do it for each instance.
This is like regeneration. It's regeneration. This is like their new regeneration rule. This is like it will not die but for all your wounds on a 6. This is worse than the main rule book warlord trait. Because if you do 10 wounds to me and I get to roll the 6s now, that's better than me waiting to see if I lived through it and then later getting to roll the 6s. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's a shitty warlord trait.
There is a strategy where you regain D3 wounds too. But
yeah, so this is the regen. I mean, it's in theme with the regeneration. And let me put it this way: like Chaos got a warlord trait that was 6-up, feel no pain, which is better than regenerating wounds on 6-ups. And it's not just 6-up, feel no pain. It's +1 wounded 6-up, feel no pain. That's a good warlord trait. This is a shitty one.
I think you'll like this one though. Their stratagem, Endless Swarm, 2 command points. Select a destroyed unit of Termagants, Hormagaunts, Gargoyles, or any Hydra infantry unit that has been completely destroyed. Add an identical unit to your army and set up as reinforcements wholly within 6 inches of any board edge and more than 9 inches away from enemy units.
Yeah, I'm all about stuff like that. We always know that that's good, which is why they make you pay for reinforcement points these days.
Yep.
But I love how reinforcement points work. It's just budget them into your army and then use them how you need to.
High Fleet Yormanger. You know, it's going to mess that up.
Yeah, we even practiced.
Your mom Ganders.
Your mom Ganders.
Jormungandr.
I can barely talk sometimes. Let's be honest. The attribute is a unit with this adaptation minus keyword fly. Always have the benefit of cover for the purpose of shooting attacks. If the unit advances or charges, it loses the benefit until the start of the next movement phase. I don't know. Kind of, it seems okay. It might combo with some stuff, but.
Say it again, just so everyone can understand why you're not impressed by it.
Well, I mean, I feel like if you're Tyranids, you're going to be advancing, right?
Sometimes.
Better be.
So what do you like about this and what don't you like about this?
No, I like the benefits of cover, sure. You know, because, you know, their saves aren't going to be that great. So you're going to be like, oh, cool, I get +1 to my save. But I feel like a lot of cases, unless you're trying to hunker down and.
The only thing this matters on is people with 3-up saves and better.
Yeah.
Like
which isn't going to be your little bugs.
Which isn't going to be your little bugs. So like this, so you have, so they're telling you kind of the theme of your army again. Like the last one was like, if you outnumber you, we get this rule. This one is like, you get +1 to cover, but guess what? +1 to cover when you have 5-up armor save doesn't mean shit right now.
This is for stuff that's going to be kind of big.
So it's telling you the theme of Jormungandr, your mom's Gander, your mom Ganders.
Your mom Gander.
What's the warlord trait here?
Warlord trait, enemy units do not benefit from cover against attacks made by the warlord or friendly units within 3 inches of the warlord.
That wait, they don't benefit from cover?
Correct.
I love that. I've had a lot of success with Iron Warrior Obliterators.
Yeah.
Now in my new list, I'm using Alpha Legion because I need some of the other gangster shit that Alpha Legion brings, and it's actually a little saddening because let me tell you what, like 5 Primaris Marines standing in a fucking goddamn crater trying to screen something, but now they have +1 to cover save and they have 2 wounds each, kind of annoying to deal with if you're only -1 AP, right? If you fuck up and you get a bad roll in Obliterators and you only neg 1 AP and they still have a 3-up save because it's +1 cover, you're like, ugh. So if you can just have a little bubble that says these motherfuckers ignore the cover, that's helpful. I like that.
I think you'll like this one too. The stratagem is the enemy below, 1 command point. Use the stratagem during deployment when setting up your mom Gander's infantry units. Instead of deploying normal, set this unit up underground. When you set up a unit of tunnelers, Raveners, Trigon Prime, or Moloch, Any number of units that have been set up underground may deploy with them. Place that unit within 3 of a tunneler and more than 9 inches away from any enemy units.
Love that rule. That's solid. Some of the best types of rules. Like I said, everyone's getting some type of deep strike, fort operative, ambush mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
And those are good fucking rules.
The Kraken Hive fleet attribute is units may charge after falling back, which we've seen that.
Run. It's hit and run. It's good.
Yeah, we've seen that, but we haven't seen it used to effect. And I feel like we may see it in this a lot more on the tabletop because, well, that's the whole purpose in life. A lot of times is assaulting.
Well, it's awesome because if you have some good shooting in your army, so it's awesome because of 2 reasons. So
it's 1-2.
If the enemy falls back so they can shoot at you and you have survivors, you know what I mean? Like whatever, you were still going to charge them anyway. But now what you get to do against only one thing is you get to fall back from combat, shoot them, and then charge them again. That's like very few people in this game have that ability. Many people have the ability to fall back and shoot because if you had the fly keyword, you could do that. And they're saying like, yo, this is an assaulting army, so they need something like that. So I like this because that just means you need to have good closer units, especially if you have units that deep strike or tunnel or something that's really strong, something that can just pop up and shoot you, like maybe tag effects or whatever. I love being able to engage people, get out, engage again. That's the wombo combo. That's like the vortex. Like if you can just charge like 15 things in their army and then back out and then still re-engage. Oh my God. I could see myself playing a style like that.
Yeah, I think we're going to actually see. I think this is poised to make a splash. The Warlord trait is choose a unit within 6 inches of the Warlord. It may fight first in a fight phase, even if it didn't charge.
Oh, that's good.
You don't see that mechanic very often either. I can think of maybe a total of 3.
That's good.
Stratagem is opportunistic advance. 1 command point in amusement phase. Choose a Kraken unit that does not have fly. When advancing, you can double the number you roll when determining how much to add to the unit's movement characteristic. So
this is specific to the Kraken?
Yeah, to the Krakens.
Seems good.
Next up is Kronos. If a unit does not move, it may reroll ones to hit when shooting. We've seen that before.
That's the shit. See, that's what those are better rules right now. In 8th edition, being able to reroll the ones in close combat is good, but shooting is a little bit better.
The Warlord trait's interesting. If an enemy psyker within 18 of your Warlord fails a psychic test, they suffer D3 mortal wounds. Oof. A lot of these guys only have 4 wounds, right?
That's painful.
And because you have synapse, you're doing a -1 cast bubble.
Yep, right off the bat.
So you can really jack people up. Imagine too if like dude rolls double 1s in your range, he takes 2 D3 mortal wounds.
And their stratagem is against shadows. When an enemy psyker attempts to cast a spell within 24 of any Kronos unit, that psyker can only use 1 die for their psychic test.
That's the sickest shit right there.
That is pretty brutal.
And this is a stratagem?
That's a stratagem for
so
one.
Let me tell you what's going to happen here. Every Tyranid army is going to have a patrol detachment or a super cheap battalion. Honestly, like how many points can you take a 10-man Gaunt unit or Ripper unit? Like how cheap are Rippers?
Let's see. Troop.
Basically, what I'm getting at is trying to figure out what the cheapest battalion you can take is. Get 3 command points out of, and say your Warlord is Kronos. Just so you can have this, and then have like, but this is the reroll 1s to shoot detachment too, right?
Yeah,
this is like my favorite one, bro. Like I would just play this. I would just play Kronos. But even if you didn't want to play Kronos, like you need to take a cheap battalion just because this jacks Magnus up. Magnus is not trying to cast Weaver of Fates on 1 fucking dice.
Yeah.
Like he needs to roll a Weaver of Fates. I guess he can get off, but Weaver of Fates is a 7, a warp charge 7, I think. Or is it 6? Fuck. But either way, 1 dice is not where you want to be at, right?
Ripper Swarms are 3 for 11 points.
3 for 11 points. There you go.
So you just need something to throw.
But I mean, I just like Kronos.
Yeah,
I
Kronos.
like taking the shooting motherfuckers and having this guy, because that's an issue, bro. Like, oh my god, 24-inch bubble of one dice, and then if you're within 18 inches, you can play the card, and it's 1 dice and -1 to cast.
They also have a targeted psychic power, Psychic Scream, Warp Charge 5, targets the nearest enemy within 18, does D3 mortal wounds. If the target is a psyker, it also rolls 2d6. The value is higher than the psyker's leadership. The enemy psyker loses a spell at random.
Wow. Not a fan of that one right there.
I can see Magnus is absolutely, to quote Sindri in there, Magnus cries a single tear, flies in, throws this fucking dice in the air, -1, 1 single cast, doesn't get Weaver off. You roll up, you cast your shit, and I lose Weaver.
Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, sadness. Profound sadness.
All right, last one. Leviathan. Each unit may reroll 1 failed to hit and 2 wound roll when it shoots or fights. Not sure on the exact wording here.
Every unit, this is like the Salamander one, right?
I don't think it's to hit and to wound, though.
The Salamander one is absolutely to hit and wound.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, you get 1 of each. This is a great self-contained one. This is a good, like, we're good at everything kind of thing. I like that, especially if you have units with like D3 shots that are like really good AP and really good damage.
Yep.
That's pretty solid.
Warlord trait. After deployment, but before first game turn, you redeploy your Warlord. Stratagem is during the fight phase, select an enemy unit within 1 of a flying or non-flying Leviathan unit. You may reroll to hit into wound rolls of 1 for attacks against the enemy unit made by friendly Leviathan units.
Wait, so you have to put like a dude next to them and then play this, and then everyone going after that unit gets to reroll?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it's kind of like that Cadian, like if you wound them, you get to reroll everything.
What's the range on it? Like, what's the range from the people?
Enemy unit within 1 inch of 1 flying.
Oh, within, so you actually have to assault them.
And 1 non-flying Leviathan unit.
It's and?
That doesn't make sense.
It's a hard one to do.
That is a hard one to do.
You have to charge them with a fucking fly keyword unit and a non-fly keyword unit.
Well, I don't know if that's right. We're on
These are trends.
Yeah, it does say yeah. It does say and yeah.
That is okay.
Twice.
Okay. Word. I like elements of this. So far, I'm the most impressed with Kronos. Kronos has my favorite Legion ability, which is the reroll 1s if you don't move. I think that's really fucking strong, especially with like exocrines and DAC effects and stuff. And I love the psychic shenanigans, because that's like one of Chaos's strengths right now is psychic. I'll tell you what, I played a guy, really cool cat named Brandon at SoCal. He was one of the top dudes with his Imperial Soup list. He's the one of the guys I played who had Robbie G and Celestine and 2 Scorpios and a Fire Raptor and a bunch of conscripts and shit. So he had a real strong list, but what he also had in his list that was very impressive was he made room for like a little patrol detachment of Black Templar so that he can play the stratagem that is 24 inches, 4 up to deny the witch. And he has a Culexus that he puts in the middle of the table, so he has an 18-inch -2 to cast bubble. So he was playing that game that Kronos does right here. And the cool thing is, like, the cool thing about this one is that it's out of your hand. With Kronos, once you say it's happening, it's, can your opponent make this roll on 1 dice? Is it even possible? So I like the fact that there's like just ultimate combos there, like master play combos there. With the Black Templar one, it's the corn one too. It's in your court. no matter what your opponent does, you're rolling that 4. And then you get a command point to try to reroll it. But it's still the same principle. He creates an area of denial that makes it 90% certain that my powers don't go off. And that was very powerful versus me because Magnus. So I like Kronos doing that as well. And another element of his army was Bobby G making Scorpios is twice as good when they shoot. And you're telling me Kronos just has stand still, reroll 1s. Anyway, so that's kind of a similar element. I think that it's really powerful. That's super strong. And there's other stratagems that these are just the Legion stratagems that we're talking about.
Right. These are just the key to the particular Hive fleet.
Not all the stratagems are worth mentioning, but there is one that is, and that's the double damage one, right?
Yeah. Let me find that one real quick. I just wanted to, I was scanning the psychic powers. It just looks like there's a instinctive behavior 1 up to 36-inch range. This might be interesting. Paroxysm changed. So 5 war charge, choose an enemy unit within 18 to fight last.
That's a good one.
That could see some play for sure. Where's the damage?
That's awesome because like in your turn, you say Magnus fight last, get 2 charges off. And it means I can't interrupt with a 2 command point. Like it's pretty strong. Just using Magnus. We're just using Magnus as our whipping boy. Magnus is by no shape, he is not the end all beat all. He is not OP. He is not a YOLO dude. He is.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Mortarion.
He's not Mortarion. Mortarion is a living hand grenade. That dude can solo your army with 1 wound left if you let him. Like.
So, I think this is the one you're talking about. 2 command points, pathogenic slime, shooting phase, select Tyranid monster. Increase the damage of its attack by 1 for this phase. Wait, is it 1? I can't. This is broken English.
But one's fine. Like, so that's what I'm saying is like you got any type of unit with that mass firepower that does 1 damage or 2 damage or D3 damage or whatever. And you're talking about an army, like this army's already like we roll 1s. I love Kronos with with that stratagem. Like we just reroll our own 1s. And then I can make whatever unit I feel like is the best unit. Like I think someone correct me if I'm wrong. Rob, you okay?
Yeah, we're fine. The cats are being cats.
I was like, do I need to call somebody?
No.
Do I need to call Liam Neeson?
Yeah.
Even Annie flinched at that. She's like, what are you idiots doing?
But like, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that silly big bug with the cannon on his back that I was just talking about. What is that thing called? Exocrine? Doesn't that guy have a rule where like he can shoot twice if he doesn't move?
Exocrine. Let me check. That's a heavy supporter, probably.
I think that guy can like double fire or something. And I like could if he can, and he has. I think he has quality shots.
If the model does not move in its movement phase, you can add 1 to its hit rolls, and following its shooting phase cannot charge. If it does not move in your movement phase, it could shoot all its weapons twice in your shooting phase.
So this is like add 1, reroll 1, shoot your weapons twice, add 1 damage. This guy,
his damage is already 2.
Yeah, dude, this seems good. You know what I'm saying? Like that gets deadly quick. It makes some quality. It makes you have some quality shots. I like them. I think that there's a lot of combos here. Like it's like what we've been saying though, guys. Like everyone's getting essentially the same stratagems, just worded differently to the narrative of their army, and we're all getting similar tools, but also getting our theme, like our flavor. I like this.
There's a gain command point, D3 command points if you kill a character for the feeder tendril upgrade. Looks like it's keyed to gene stealers or lictors. I like implant attack. After a Nid unit in a fight phase, roll a D6 for each wounded enemy model not slain on a 2-up. Model suffers a mortal wound.
God, old implant attack back in 3rd edition?
Oh.
David used to fucking infuriate me with that shit.
Yeah, it's just like free damage.
It was almost the same thing. Like he always did another wound. And always got me with that shit. I'd be like, oh, 5 wounds, invulnerable saves. I'd be like, okay, my Chaos Lord has 5 up invulnerable. Boom. Oh, sweet. I passed exactly enough to still have 1 wound left. He's like, implant attack, dog, you're dead. I was like, literally say implant attack one more time. I will fucking flip this table over and we're done with 40k forever. Do any of you guys have brothers that you play with? Because that's a standard game of 40k for us.
Don't hobby too hard, then.
It's like we've had games that we like just shut the fucking game down at like 7 p.m. and then start playing it again the next day at like 2 because we needed that much time to cool down after some shit like that.
The rage was strong.
There was this one time. This is the story I always tell that this is how like a nurgling gets his wings, and it was like, remember the Super Falcon days? Of course, we remember. Mm-hmm. And anybody doesn't know, like that shit was garbage, right? They basically, in a nutshell, anytime you did damage to them, you had to roll 2 dice. They can pick the lowest, and it made all penetrating hits, glancing hits only. So the only way you can blow a vehicle up back in those days on a glance was by rolling a 6, but they made you roll 2 dice, pick the lowest. So you had to like basically hit it, penetrate it, be downgraded to a glance, then roll double 6s. And all skimmers, straight up 6s to hit in close combat. Period. There's no ballistic skill bullshit, weapon skill bullshit. You just needed 6s. So they'd already done the math on last cannons, like how many last cannons it actually takes to take out a Falcon. It was ludicrous, but in close combat, insane, right? Because now you need 6s to hit. My great unclean one rolls up. I was like, all right, I know it's useless and a complete fucking waste of time because your army, David. Roll up with my 4 attacks from the great unclean one. I'm like, all right, 1 hit. Yeah, awesome. 2 dice, armor penetration. Cool, it's a pen. Downgraded to a glance. Roll 2 dice, pick the lowest, double 6s. He was like, that was one of those moments where he was like, I'll see you tomorrow too. I was like, yes. Yes, motherfucker. You cheesy 4th edition Super Falcon having asshole.
Got him.
Your tears of unfathomable sadness feed me.
I got Blackmore with that too at the Vegas, the GW Vegas GT where I met Haspel and Tim Baptist. I took down his Falcon with a Iron Warrior last cannon shot. Yeah,
that's so gangster. I love the stories of like the single last cannon shot taking one out because we know that only happened once.
It was like 1 in 81. I think that was the math on it. No, that was to damage it. That wasn't to destroy it.
Yeah. To actually do a quality damage result. That like maybe you blew a weapon off.
Yeah. It was brutal.
Yeah.
Here's a stratagem I think you'll like. 2 command point, single-minded annihilation. At the end of the shoot phase, choose an infantry unit, shoot again.
Oh my god, that's my favorite one.
That would combo pretty well with the Kronos.
No, Kronos is monster only. The damage one you said?
No, but the reroll 1s isn't.
No, reroll 1s isn't. That's an obliterator combo. So that's infantry only. So what's the best infantry unit that shoots in the Tyranid Codex? I don't fucking know.
Hive Guard.
Hive Guard, there you go. So that's sick. That's like what I do with obliterators. That's one of the things that you guys saw me do that live on Frontline Gaming TV on Twitch at SoCal, was you saw me go up against the AdMech, where I dropped in the obliterators, pressures them so they get +1 to hit, very similar to rerolling 1s. So we already know a 3 rerolling 1s and a 2 hitting on 2s, and blow up a onager with a neutronium laser, whatever the fuck it's called, and then shoot again and blow up.
Do it again.
So you basically ground through 24 wounds of vehicles with that 1 unit, 2 vehicles. So that's a very solid combo. And having the natural reroll 1s built in is sick.
Yo, so how about the Impaler cannon, right? 36-inch range, heavy 2, strength 8, neg 2 AP, D3 damage. which we all know you can buff the damage if you want with another stratagem. This weapon can target units that are not visible to the bearer, and they do not gain any bonus for being in cover.
Oh yes, I love the no. I don't see you. No cover save guns. Doesn't Grey Knights have one of those astral aim?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a stratagem.
Yeah, those are good. See, we're getting similar tools. I like that.
So 3 up to hit, reroll 1s, double shots. I feel like that could do some damage on some things.
Well, I'm sorry, I misspoke. It's not a stratagem, it's psychic power.
I feel like we did a good job here without Juice, and now we just need Juice to read the codex on his cruise and then come back and tell us what we missed.
Yeah, like, you guys are so stupid. How'd you not see this?
I mean, it's hard. We don't have the passion for it, so that's why we're really missing out on Juice today. You know, don't have the passion. We have passion for Eldar because we hate Eldar.
Yeah, you got that right.
Book comes out next week. We'll have Juice. He'll tell us why we're stupids.
Yep. Why were the
still
stupids?
finding sick combos?
Yep. Crack out on it.
He's gonna say Kronos is the worst one, you idiots.
Read a book, guys. Gosh. Haspel, take us out.
Look, man, I only need to know one thing: where they are.